Hey everyone, good morning out there, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great day. Right now, I just got up early and I am over here in Baltimore checking out one of the most famous colleges in the entire country and probably the whole world. So let's go around and see the campus. Probably won't see a lot of students yet because it's still like 7 a.m., but eventually we will probably. Today I'm here at Johns Hopkins University Homewood Campus, which is the main one. They have quite a few other campuses, in fact 4 just in Baltimore alone, but this one has all the undergraduate students, and there are about 5,000 to 6,000 kids that come here, plus about 2,000 graduate students that also attend this campus. But this is really well known because it is probably the preeminent research institution in the US. They get more federal funding than any other school, and a lot of kids come here because of their pre-med and their programs geared toward doctors as well as sciences. So a lot of the buildings, you can come into the lobbies, but they're not quite open yet because it's so early. But it's still really cool to see this. Looking over there toward the east, you can see the sunrise this morning, and it is really amazing. I mean, that is so pretty. I really kind of like this, just being able to walk around without anyone else. There is quite a bit of security here, so you see guards everywhere, which is good, you know. Safety first when it comes to these campuses, especially with a lot of younger students. But that is also because we're in Baltimore. And while I've really found a lot of things amazing here in this city, and the people to be super friendly, they are so kind, everyone I've met, it can also be very sketchy and dangerous. And there is a lot of poverty. So if you walk off the campus at all, just be really aware of your surroundings because it just goes right into that city. I really like the architecture and the motif on this campus with all the red bricks. And it's very clean. I mean, it looks gorgeous. They maintain this very, very well. Oh, and I'm finally starting to see a few of the first ones up, walking to something. Maybe going out to get some coffee, which is what I should be doing. The other thing I'm seeing is quite a bit of green space. There are several quads within the campus here. So you've definitely got room to kind of be outside, especially in warmer weather. Right now, when it's winter, you're probably not going to see a lot of students lying out doing picnics on the grass, but I can imagine when it gets warmer. All right, let's see what's going on campus here. You got the board with all the advertisements. Conversations are writing in medicine. You got future at JHU. What is health? Love and family and Palestinian cinema. Kits for kindness. Are you a young black woman? This building right here is called Gilman Hall, and this is the oldest academic building on campus. I believe this was built in the early 1900s. So, yeah, it looks very nice, very prominent. I'm going to sit down for a minute. I'm really tired. Well, I'm not that tired, it's just cold out, and I just want to take a load off for a second. But this is gorgeous. Oh, and I like the fact that all the buildings are relatively open, so it's not too closed off. Some campuses you can't walk in anywhere, but here I feel like you're able to kind of see everything, or at least quite a bit of it. Now I'm just in one of their writing rooms and study areas. And that's something that I think is very important to know about this college in particular, because they're so research oriented. This is a school that you come to study hard. This is not the kind of place you want to come if you want to have a social life, or you want to go to sporting events, or have that kind of fun college experience. Well, I've walked halfway across campus now. It took about 7 minutes to walk here, so I think the total length is about 15 minutes if you don't stop to take any pictures or videos, to go from the south of the campus where I started all the way up to the north side. But of course I stop a lot, so it's taking me longer. But it's not really that big of a campus here. I thought it was much larger when I looked on the map. But then once you're here walking around, you see that it's easy to walk here. It's about 7:30 now, and I'm seeing a lot more people walking around. I guess the students are all up, getting ready to study or go to class. Again, like I was saying before, when I was inside the writing room there, is that this college is known for being a grind school where you just grind away and you study. I'm not sure how great that is. It just depends on your personality, I guess. But I think that would make it hard to become like friends, because you're all in competition. And I've been to other prestigious colleges in the US like that, where it just doesn't feel like a community vibe because everybody's on their own. There is a lot of construction going on here in this quad, hopefully for the better. I always see when they're building things on these campuses, usually it's to make a lot of improvements, which they need, especially on places like this where some of the buildings have been aging for a long time and they need newer facilities. So right here in the central part of the campus is the Homewood Museum, and this is the oldest building on the school grounds. It was built in 1801 by a wealthy family that was very influential in early Maryland history. And you can go in and get a tour. It's not open yet because, again, it's so early. But it is a historical landmark here as well in the U.S. So definitely worth checking out if you're visiting Johns Hopkins. Oh, time for another break. Feel like I'm back in college again. Where I'm sitting right now, I am on the eastern edge of the campus here, and down there, that road that you see is Charles Street, and this is the main drag. And if you take this up and down a few miles, you will pass several other colleges. In fact, my father went to another college right up the road here, about 5 minutes, called Loyola University. There are not that many cars driving by right now, but this road can be super busy because of all the traffic from students and visitors. Across Charles Street over there is an area called Charles Village, and that's kind of the going out area for all the students when they want to leave campus and go into the city. That's one of those college kind of restaurants and some nightlife and cafes, meeting friends. That's kind of where you go if you want to get away from studying for a bit. This amazing piece of architecture right here across the street is actually a Baptist church. Oh, I almost forgot to mention this, but one thing I really want to point out is how difficult it is to find parking around here. I mean, you really have to just go to a garage. That's the easiest thing. It does cost a little bit of money, and trust me, I hate parking in parking garages, but just do it. It'll save you a lot of hassle and misery trying to find a spot somewhere for free. And then there's also a matter of safety too, especially if you have a lot of stuff in your car. You know, cars get broken into all the time in this city. So just be aware of the parking situation when you're here. Just a heads up too, cars do not stop for students here. And they're driving really fast, some of them. So if you're a student, just be really careful crossing the street. This is a nice little cafe right off the campus right here called Bird in Hand. Coffee is good. They got books everywhere. Everybody's on a laptop, of course, because you're in a cafe. And yeah, this is nice. I like this one. Okay, after a bit of rest and some coffee, I am now just going to walk around Charles Village, walk through a few neighborhoods, and you can join me and see what this does look like. Okay, so once you get a little bit away from the more gentrified area over there by the college, it definitely starts to look more like Baltimore. You'll start to see more of these row homes that are very popular here. And there are a group of them that are painted here that I believe they call the Painted Ladies. I think it's just some colorful fronts to these buildings, which is nice. You know what's amazing to me is that Baltimore has so many streets. It's very walkable in terms of how the city is laid out, but I never really see many people outdoors. Could be the weather, but it is eerily quiet here. Honestly, I know it does look a little bit rough when you get further away from campus here, but these neighborhoods are quite nice compared to other parts of the city. So this is delightful. Again, very quiet because no one's on the street, but I don't mind this at all. And just, you know, use your common sense, keep your wits about you when you're a few blocks off campus like I am now. And just enjoy what you're looking at. I mean, I love these homes. This is definitely a Baltimore vibe that I don't get anywhere else. Oh, these are definitely the Painted Lady houses. I love it. It's just so colorful. Each one is unique. It's almost like they're works of art. Okay, now that we've seen this block of homes, I'm going to go back over toward the college. And there's just a few other things I want to walk by to show you, including one of the best museums in the entire city. Okay, so what I'm walking up to right now is the Baltimore Art Museum. And this is a really great place. They have some incredible works in here. Now I just got to figure out where the entrance is and see if they're even open. Sometimes these museums have limited hours or days where they don't open at all. All right, so I just looked it up and they said the museum doesn't really open until 10 a.m. So that gives me a little bit of time to grab a bite to eat. And I found a restaurant nearby here which looks pretty cool. Just passing by one of these green spaces, parks near the college here. The big one is called Wyman Park, and it's on the west side of the university, running north to south. And it's fairly large. It's big enough for you to take a walk or jog or do whatever you want to do outside. There are lights down there in the park, but I don't think I would walk through there at night anyway, because I've already seen a few homeless people and I feel so bad because it is so cold here today. I don't know how they're sitting out here, and I hope that they can find some warm shelter because that's absolutely insane. All right, I'm getting close to this little quirky cafe I found over here. And again, not far from the campus, maybe like a 10-minute walk, maybe 15 minutes if you're on the far north side. But it's really close, and I do see a lot of college kids walking this way, so I bet they were down here eating at this place. Oh, I am stuffed now, but that cafe was so amazing. This might be the most eclectic restaurant I've ever been in. It's called Paper Moon, and I highly, highly recommend it. It is a diner, so it's nice and good, greasy food, but it tasted great. The service was amazing. The people in there were great. I had a few nice conversations. And they do ask you not to film inside, but you can take as many photos as you want. So I just had fun just seeing all the decorations, the toys, the mannequins that are made up. Yeah, this is like somebody's dream art project. Well, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I came over here to see this. And yeah, totally free to come in and see all the exhibits. It's not the biggest museum, but there are some really nice pieces in here. Definitely worth visiting, though. If you're in this area, if you're at Johns Hopkins, come over here and just take a break from studying with some art and culture. All right. I've come full circle this morning. Been here about 4 hours, and I got to walk around the whole campus, see some of these beautiful buildings, check out the little area right next to the campus. Got to try a really fantastic cafe. I mean, you have to check that one out. That is incredible. And I gotta say, I'm really liking this area. And this is definitely a distinct neighborhood here in Baltimore. It's different than any other part that you will visit. It's got its own flavor, its own flair. I like the university as well because it is very diverse. You'll see a lot of international students here, a lot of kids from all over the world, different parts of the US. And that to me is always a good thing. I will say though that a lot of the students here don't look that happy, but it could just be the weather. But I think it's also because of the rigorous standard that they have here, because it is so academic focused. So if you do want to come here, I would say just be prepared for that and know that when you're at Johns Hopkins, you're going to be studying all the time and competing for those grades with everyone else. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this place. Maybe you've been to Johns Hopkins. Maybe you're an alumni from here. Tell me all your stories. I'd love to hear more about it. But I gotta say, I enjoyed my time today. As always, stay safe, healthy, and happy. And I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. Life's a journey meant to be shared. Remember to always travel with an open heart and an open mind. Enjoy the ride and keep your eyes on the horizon for the next adventure. I'll see you out there.